I'm not gonna lie, man. I'm glad I'm doing this video. Straight up. I've been wanting to say the things that I'm about to say on this video for years. For real. I'm not even lying. So let's start from the very beginning. When I first heard about gentrification, I'll never forget it. So it had to be like summer 1994, 95, something around those years in the mid 90s, early mid 90s. Movie came out called Boys in the Hood. Guest starring Nia Long, Ice Cube, Cuba Gooding Jr., Lawrence Fishburne, Angela Bassett, Morris Chestnut. I mean, it was a boatload of stars in that movie. One thing that stuck out in that movie is when Morris Chestnut, Lawrence Fishburne, and Cuba Gooding Jr. visited the hood. So they get out of the car, and Lawrence Fishburne is explaining to Cuba Gooding Jr., which plays Lawrence Fishburne's son. Morris Chestnut, which is Morris Chestnut is Cuba Gooding's friend, and the other people that are from that neighborhood that's outside listening to Lawrence Fishburne explain to them gentrification. And that was the first time that I heard of gentrification in 1990, roughly 1994, 95. Then it came up again when, for those that don't know that are new to the channel, I used to sell bootleg movies. I was out there. I was the one that said I got 2 for $5, 2 for $25, all the rest of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? While the drug dealers were on one corner, I was on the other corner selling bootleg movies, boosted clothes, you name it. All right? So I used to do these trips, re-up, you know. We call them re-up. You know, we would re-up. You know what I'm saying? So I used to do these trips from North Carolina to New York at least once a week. From North Carolina to New York, once a week I did this probably about, wow, man, I did it close to like 10 years. I'm telling you, this is my word. I'm not making this up. Every week, at least once a week, I would take a trip up to New York and back. All right? When I would go to New York, I would, stop at 125, 125th, and do my normal thing. I would go to McDonald's and get like a sausage biscuit, pancakes, or whatever have you. That McDonald's that's like right next to the Marshalls it's not recently built, but it's been there for a while, but it's new to 125, right? 125th. I knew that something was different, or what we later they called it gentrification. Things started popping up, on 125th Street that was just like really abnormal. Like the first thing that kind of stuck out with me, you know what I'm saying, as I'm going back and forth from North Carolina to New York, once a week. The first thing that stuck out on 125th was that Starbucks. When I saw that Starbucks on the corner, I knew something wasn't right. Then they built the Magic Johnson Mall or something like that, shopping center, whatever have you, right, on 125th. And I was like, okay, Magic Johnson is looking out for the black people. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, all right, black people coming up 125th. You know what I'm saying? It's about to come up. And Bill Clinton moved his office there on 125th. And then he started building like brownstones behind 125th Street, right? And then another time, each time I would, come up to New York, I would see something new on 125th. You know what I'm saying? The next thing that stuck out was early in the morning. I never forget. It was like early in the morning. I saw this white dude with like one of them dogs that you see in a dog show that's like this tall, like, you know what I'm saying, them big ass Labrador dogs with the long hair and shit. I said, oh no, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. And then after that, the rest is history. They renamed Harlem. I forgot the name they call it now. It's a new name. Harlem has been gentrified. Brooklyn, oh my God, Brooklyn, y'all shouldn't even call yourself Brooklyn anymore. I'm not trying to be funny. You understand? I do know that there are gangs and all the rest of that stuff. You know, just regular thug dudes out there that's from Brooklyn, and they represent that city. I get it. So I'm treading real light. I'm not disrespecting you, but I gotta tell you the truth. That Brooklyn is gone. That plain and simple. And y'all should have known that anyway. I mean, Brooklyn is like from Brooklyn to Manhattan. It ain't nothing but a Brooklyn Bridge away. So, out of all these years, man, I've been seeing gentrification run rampant throughout all black communities. Out of all these years, I've seen with my own eyes food deserts, poor public schools, the lack of education in our communities. I could go on with the ills that we face in the black community. I could go on, man. Here I am living in Charlotte, and gentrification is running rampant, man. West Boulevard, they are digging that shit the fuck up. And they are not playing. They're not playing. And it's crazy. I asked you all to find out what the hell were they building. Because I did it, for those that don't know, I did a video about West Boulevard. It's on this channel, check it out. But it's crazy. I did the research. I found out what they were doing on West Boulevard. That whole area that they're clearing out, that's going to be a whole new apartment complex. Whole new. And mysteriously, all of a sudden, now that your new neighbors that ain't this are moving in, now they want to put a street light in front of the YMCA that's located off of West Boulevard. Out of all those years, those children were crossing that street, trying to get across the street. Cross the street from West Boulevard to get to the YMCA. A place that's for the community. You mean to tell me out of all those years that YMCA been there, all of a sudden now that you're putting a brand new apartment complex on West Boulevard that really, let's be real, black people can't afford, so we all know who's gonna live there. Now all of a sudden you put a fucking street light on up as if we didn't need one. And I said, wait. Yeah, true indeed, I don't live there. But I may have friends that I visit that live there. And truth be told, I could care about the people that are there. And if they have a street light or not to cross the street. I don't have to be a citizen or live on that street to give a damn. That plain and simple. But you know what, man? After all of what I said, straight up, I gotta be truthful. I have to be real. And I have to say that based on my research, talking to people that were born and raised here, black people are not losing their land. They're selling it. They're giving it up. And for that, that's a fight that I don't want to fight anymore. Why would I fight for someone that's willing to give up what I'm fighting for? All these years, man, I spent, Puerto Rican can attest to that, I spent damn near over half of my life fighting for black people. And what I'm about to tell you, I don't give a fuck whether white people are looking at this shit, black people and all of that shit. Because you know how sometimes black people want to say, yo, man, stop telling our business. You spreading our business around. And white people are looking at this shit. You embarrassing us. Nigga, you think that white people don't see our fuckery? You think that's all it takes for me to say something? For them to say, oh shit, I didn't know that? Yeah, right. If I can see the fuckery, and if Stevie Wonder can see it, I know white people can see it. That plain and simple. One thing that I realized, man, whether it's dealing with systemic racism, regular racism, redlining, the lack of education or poor education in our communities, food deserts, genetically modified food, gentrification, black genocide, guns mysteriously being put in our communities, cocaine, drugs mysteriously being put in our communities. Out of all this shit, I can honestly say today that the majority of black people don't want to do shit about what I just mentioned. They don't give a fuck. The majority of black people only care about themselves. In the worst way. Because I know, I tell you all on this channel, yo, worry about yourself. Focus on you. Yeah, but look at it. Listen to this. Once you focus on you, then you're ready. You're prepared to focus on helping someone else. See, you can't help someone unless you can help yourself. But that's not what black people are preaching and teaching these days. Black people are all about self. And this is the reason why. It ain't the white man. I'm telling you, this is my word. The white man is not our fucking enemy. We are our own worst enemy. Straight up. Straight up. When I was in the conscious world, we used to talk about how black people built the pyramids, we built Timbuktu, and we would go on and on and on about how great black people were. Did you hear what I said? Word, past tense. Because we ain't build no pyramids today. We ain't build no Timbuktu today. Mansa Musa's dead. Now who is the richest? Who's striving to be the richest? Or rather, should I say the wealthiest? Yes, true indeed. Our ancestors left us a history that if we paid attention, if we cared to know, we could take that same type of information and apply it to our lives. And knowing your history, knowing how great your race used to be, guess what? That will instill confidence, self-esteem inside of you. And when you know that you have a great history, that you come from a great past, then guess what? You 9 times out of 10, you're gonna have a great future. And I've attempted to do that. I've attempted to go into the black neighborhoods and tell them about their history, tell them about their past, tell them how great they were and how they can be. And I ain't lying, man. I've been in the hood a couple times. Twice I got robbed. I'm done. Word up. I'm done. Black people, you already made your mark in the sand. And you chose what side you want to be on. And that side that you've chose is, Langston, leave us the fuck alone. We already told you that we ain't on no conscious shit. You trying to be about kick that knowledge shit and all the rest of that? We know what you about. We don't want none of that. And you know what I'm saying? In 2022, thank you, I got the memo. Or rather, should I say email? Straight up. I'm done. I'm only telling the truth to people that want to hear it. That's it. Other than that, I'm wasting my motherfucking time. Straight up. Straight up, man. It's a damn shame that black people don't want nothing. I'm not saying all black people, but the vast majority don't want shit. Straight up, don't want to own shit. So let me get this right. You sell your home. Like, this is the reason why they call us stupid. Straight up. Because we do stupid shit like this. So you sell your home. Let's say, for example, you selling your home for $300,000, right? You know the corporate real estate, companies are going to fucking damn buy that shit. Because they got what? The capital to buy it. So you don't want to sell your home to someone such as myself. That's a black man that's raising black children. That has a black family. Nah. That's too good of a future for black people. You don't want to lay down no foundation or some type of infrastructure for the next black man so we can come up together. No. You want to sell that shit. And that's what you did. You sold that shit for $300,000. And then you went back on the market to see if you can buy a fucking house. And now you've been priced out. And they knew it. They knew that your dumbass was going to take that $300,000. And they knew that you wasn't going to be able to afford to live anywhere else. Because nice homes are going for 3 and better. So now you stuck in another fucking mortgage. Looking like a fucking idiot. Like the sellout that you are. Because most black people don't think of other black people or for other black people. That's the reason why the enemy is winning. Period. And what I mean by the enemy, I'm talking about white, racist ass motherfuckers. I'm not talking about regular white people. I ain't talking about that cool, nice white lady that greets me every morning at the YMCA. Good morning, Langston. She looks at some of my videos. And every now and then, when she says good morning, in the back of my head, I could just picture her looking at one of my videos and me saying, hey, fuck it, dick! It's just cursing and shit. And she's like, oh. Yo, I'm just so surprised at how many people look at my videos. For real. I mean, straight up, everybody looks at my videos of all races. And I wouldn't want it any other way. Any other way. But yeah, man, I'm not talking about her. I'm not talking about the cool white dude that, you know what I'm saying? One time I was fucked up, trying to be, I was ego lifting. I ain't gonna front. I'm gonna be real with y'all. I was ego lifting. I'm trying to bench that 2 and some change. You know what I'm saying? That's before I, slimmed down and started losing weight and all that shit. But that was Fat Langston. I could get that shit up. But the second time, man, that shit almost choked the living shit out of me. Yo, I ain't a religious man, but I thought I saw Jesus that day. I ain't gonna even lie. And what happened? My white Jesus came. Just pick that shit up. Let me stop. Because I know with the jokes, y'all gonna take it serious. Like, next thing you know, Langston is worshiping a white Jesus. Stop it. So we're not talking about the cool ass white people. Most of them residing in Charlotte. Nah. We talking about them racist ass bastards that don't deserve to be here. That's who we're talking about. That's who we're talking about. So, if you need to hear from someone that's black, and I'm talking to black people, you're going to hear it from me. We are, and I truly mean it, we are our own worst enemy. If you're looking for an enemy, look no further. I would tell you to go in the bathroom and look in the mirror and stare at your enemy in his or her face. That plain and simple. If we claim, based on the conscious community, you know those conscious community dudes, you know, like the Polites, the Dr. Umar, the young Pharaoh, you know, the motherfucker that look like the what is that beaver looking motherfucker on Ice Age that's always chasing after that nut. Pause. Dr. Umar farting on fucking on YouTube videos, talking about he got 2 schools and they ain't nothing but 200 houses. Sinetta. The list goes on. Nature Boy. Dr. Malachi York. I just named, out of all those people, I just named 3 of those leaders that are child. That's who y'all follow. Polite, Dr. York, and Nature Boy. Touches little children. But based on what the conscious community says, that we the gods. Based on what the conscious community says. Well, if we God, then something such as, you know, white supremacy shouldn't be that big of a deal. It really shouldn't. Other than that, man, I'm going to leave y'all with this, and then I'm done. After this, we on to having fun, man. I'm done. You could take this or leave it. I'm about to tell a story. You get what you get from it. That's that. I'm not going to explain myself. Do you understand that? Let's go. Yesterday, I went outside and there was an anthill that was right next to my house. And, you know, normally my children go out in the back and they play. The other day, one of my little children, my little babies got, you know, bit by like 2 ants. And I said to myself, I'm not going to have that happen anymore. So I took a hose and I sprayed the ant hole, right? Come to find out, it was more than 1 ant hole. So here I am, the big giant, taking down these little black ants with a water hose. Right? So the ants, you know, as I'm spraying the all of the ant holes that's in that area, I see the ants coming up, you know, out of the ground, out of the ant hole, and they all like this dead. It's like thousands of them. And I'm amazed, because I'm just amazed at how far these ants have dug down into the ground. Right? The water goes away. I come back 10 minutes later, and those ants are slowly but surely rebuilding. I say, you know what? Fuck that. I'm putting an end to this shit. I went in the house and I put a big ass pot on the stove, on top of the stove, and boiled some scalding hot water. Now, taking heat, it was like 100 degrees outside that day. So with the 100 degrees outside, the sun out, no clouds, the scalding hot water, I poured it all over. I'm like, they're definitely gonna die this time. Poured it, and as usual, you know what I'm saying? The ants is coming out of the ant hole dead. It's thousands of them dead like this, floating, right? I go to sleep, because I know I have eliminated the ants. There's no way they can come back from this. The next morning, the ants were in my house.